Well, the Ticats won the toss, and they want the ball to start from the south end. There's Myron Mitchell, one of the newcomers, back with Isaiah Wooden for this return. 2026 in the Canadian Football League is underway. It is taken by Wooden, and flying in to take him down is Josh Archibald right across the 30. So on comes Bo Levi Mitchell, the CFL's leading passer, nearly 5,300 yards in 2025.
Yeah, and Bo Levi Mitchell's obviously a special player. Again, being in Scott Milanovich's offense, you got to be excited if you're a Hamilton Tiger Cats fan right now because of the continuity he's got. He's obviously got a special arm. I'm really looking forward to what he does this season.
Here we go, and a first down and 10 for Bo Levi Mitchell, starting his 4th season as a member of the Tiger Cats after a full decade with the Calgary Stampeders. Up at their 33, new running back to his right is Larry Roundtree. Instead, Mitchell to throw. Off to the right, completes his first one to Keandre Smith, who slides down for a first down. How about a look at that Ticat starting offense?
To me, it starts up front with newcomer Chris Kolonkowski out of York. Listen, he's got his hands full today with Noel Thorpe's defense. He's a veteran guy that got him from Winnipeg. He's going to do a great job kind of shoring up this offensive line. And then receiver-wise, Giddens Jr. out of Wilfrid Laurier. Dwayne, this guy's got to fill the shoes of Tim White and be the other guy outside of Kenny Lawler and make plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Adding a little bit of Canadian content to that receiving core.
Up near the 45, the first down, Keandre Smith, and Mitchell to pass again. And a deep shot. Going for it right away for Kenny Lawler. And Lorenzo Burns coming in, and he bumps him, and there are no flags on the field, and they're hearing about it from the Ticats crowd right now. Boy, that didn't take long for him to go right after Kenny Lawler.
Absolutely not. Early on, first play, they had 2 tight ends, which was a little wild. Second play, they come out 5-hard, take a one-on-one shot. I thought there was a bit of contact here. I really thought, you look at that, it's a bit early. Probably could have been a penalty, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you the thing I love, Luke, here from a mindset point of view is Hamilton being aggressive offensively, taking that shot. We talk a lot about Montreal's aggressiveness, trying to give different looks and come after you. The one way to get them out of that, right, is make big plays against them.
Absolutely.
We'll review the play.
Heard the announcement from the referee, Tom Valesi. It will be a challenge by Scott Milanovich. And it did look like contact from Lorenzo Burns, who had his back to the ball coming in, as Milanovich with a few words to the guys in stripes there.
And you talk about openers, and you know, in the CFL, in a 3-down game, it's not as critical to have exactly a script, but again, you want to talk about it as a play call or something really cool. You come out in that first play, bit of a spacing concept. You have 2 inline tight ends.
Yeah.
And then the next play, you're 5-hour and you're throwing to the best receiver in the league on a one-on-one shot. So that's versatility right there. And I think they're going to win this challenge.
Yeah, and I think by the look of it, Burns kind of ran through Kenny Lawler on that play, right? Not looking back for the football. So the Ticats may get a big gain here.
It's be a dream start. I'll say this. When you you get a completion and a DPI, doesn't get much better than that.
On a big play like that, you can see Milanovich frustrated that he had to use his challenge flag and believes that it is an obvious call. And we'll know in a moment if they're moving deeper down into the Alouette zone in this penalty. So they still discuss and they review it, and here is the decision in Tom Valesi.
After review by the replay center, we have pass interference. Montreal number 20. Spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
You know, I think what really jams Montreal here is you don't really make a play on the ball. You know, if you're the defensive back and you turn your head a little bit, maybe then it's a little more, you know, gray. But when I'm looking at this,
yeah,
that's a pretty easy one for me, Dwayne.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying not to let Kenny Lawler kill him, right? Kenny Lawler doing what Kenny Lawler does. Burns is just trying to gain ground. Didn't have a chance to locate the football. But the end result is the same. Big gain for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Alouettes back on their heels.
A 48-yard penalty to put him in business inside the 20. Here we go, Hamilton. Opening possession of this 2026 season from the 17. Mitchell swinging it off. First touch for Larry Roundtree. The new running back in town who picks up a few more yards inside the 15.
Now we'll take a look at this Montreal Alouettes starting defense, marked by its Canadian content. Isaac Adeyemi-Berglund has been a monster over the last 2 years since coming over from Calgary. Certainly one of the top Canucks in the league. Jeffrey Kenta-Arku one of the most productive defenders in the league on a snap-by-snap basis. They had to get him into the starting lineup this year. Nate Beauchemin takes over at safety. Big shoes to fill with Marc-Antoine Dequoy on the move, but they liked Beauchemin when they picked him in the second round a year ago.
A 4-yard pickup for new running back Larry Roundtree on that reception. 2nd and 6. Deep in the Alouette zone. Mitchell has time. Finds another receiver too. He goes back to Keandre Smith. Second catch in this young ball game. He takes it down to about the 7, right around first down territory for Hamilton.
And they spread out here empty. You know, they got 6 guys. And you see here just a great stick route here, and you're going to see him sit in zone. So here you go. See how he just turns here? That's great detail. Ball's on the inside shoulder. Again, I know it's a simple play, Dwayne, but when I see this, I think high-level execution. That simple sit, and the ball's accurate.
Yeah, recognition certainly of what the coverage is giving him, and being on the same page with his quarterback, which Keandre Smith has certainly been with Bo Levi Mitchell the last 2 seasons.
Here's Jake Dolegala to handle the short yardage, and if flags come out with the snap of the football, he would have enough for the first down. So will it be 1st and goal? We'll await. Looks like a jump there along the line for Montreal. So 1st and goal coming up.
And obviously options in terms of what they do in short yardage for Hamilton.
Offside. Montreal number 95. Half the distance to the goal results in a first down.
Hamilton benefiting with the penalty call here. Jake Dolegala handling the short yardage duties for Hamilton out of the gate here. Remember, they've also got Trey Ford as an option, right? 2 very different quarterbacks behind Bo Levi Mitchell, but they both give you a chance to do some unique things.
Yeah, I was looking forward to see who that guy would be, because there's a lot of creativity you can do with Trey Ford back there.
Yeah, no question.
Ford is listed 2nd on the depth with Dolegala 3rd. And Mitchell is back in, just inside the 4 and a 1st and goal. Rolling to the right, caught Andy Lee Trey. Another flag comes down. He is tackled there by Robert Kennedy, and essentially no gain, maybe half a yard, but as said, the flag out again.
A quick recognition there from the halfback, Robert Kennedy.
Offside. Montreal number 96. Half distance to the goal. Result is a first down.
So they put it down to the 2 on that, and a 1st and goal again here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
You see Luol Uguak up near the top of your screen, just lined up offside.
Mitchell hands off. Roundtree keeps bulling his way and doesn't quite get there. 2nd and goal coming up. Alouettes were on Roundtree, just needed the 2 yards, but didn't quite get it in.
And it'll be some big bodies, including 6'7" quarterback Jake Dolegala making their way to the huddle here. The short yardage unit set up on the 1-yard line.
See Adeyemi Berglund, the first contact, and it was Najee Murray, the nickel linebacker, coming in to make sure he didn't get in. 8th play of the drive, 2nd and goal at the Alouette 1. Dolegala in again, keeps it himself, and breaks the plane for a Hamilton touchdown. Just like that, the Ticats on the board for 2026. First touchdown of the year scored by quarterback Jake Dolegala.
Well, Luke, we talk about little things, and that execution in short yardage proves big on this drive for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Yeah, and I'll say this, that was a really spectacularly drawn-up drive in general. They were in and out of personnel. They had some short throws. They took the shot to Kenny, the run there, got him right down to the 1-yard line. If you're Scott Milanovich right now, you're pretty excited. It's a hot start to the season.
Yeah, well, and with a little help certainly from the Alouettes. 3 penalties on the opening drive from a pretty veteran defense.
And the point after from Leggio, but yeah, the 3 penalties, including the big one.
You want to stay away from the trailers, anything about it. Not for older consumption.
Hamilton has the lead, kicking off to Mark Leggio, back Travis Tice. And their new returner right now with the injury to Devontae Dedman. That is Phillip Brooks with the ball across the 15 and the 20.
With the perfect start to the season for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We'll see what Davis Alexander has up his sleeve in response.
In his 5th year at Portland State, his 2nd as the #1 quarterback for the Alouettes. First possession, Travis Tice with it. Tice in his 2nd year at South Dakota, and he pushes it up across the 25, a 2nd and long coming up.
Up front, Justin Lawrence, his 100th CFL game today, 3-time Grey Cup champ. This guy's all grit. He's awesome to watch up front, does a lot of cool things in the offensive line. And then Tyson Philpott, I love watching him play. He's just got the ability to do everything. Underneath, short, intermediate, down the field, but he also blocks. This guy is physical in the RPO game. Very fun watch.
Second down, 7 to go, throwing, and it's caught right at the first down marker by Tyler Snead, his best year in 2025. He was the Alouettes' leading receiver.
I love the timing and the touch on this one. Davis Alexander gets forced out of rhythm, flush from the pocket here, but just lays it up in a perfect spot for Tyler Snead to go get it.
That's a heck of a throw. I know he makes it look easy, but you got a guy in your face, you're rolling right. Again, not the first read. That's a heck of a throw there by Davis Alexander.
Snead, 84 catches, 1,129 yards last year and 4 touchdowns. He had a touchdown in the Eastern Final on this field last November to help Montreal's win. Another play fake and throwing to the left now on first down, Tyson Philpott. Fond memories of this stadium for the Grey Cup 3 years ago, and he has his first catch at 2026.
And we'll take a look at this Hamilton Tiger Cat defense, led by the East Division's most outstanding defensive player a year ago, Julian Hauser, a guy who seems to just get better with age. Now, middle linebacker Devin Veresuk has gone to the NFL. Wynton McManus injured this week. So Ryan Baker, in his 3rd year out of UBC, makes the start at middle linebacker. Stavros Katsantonis, a 3-way All-Canadian tie for the league lead in interceptions last year. He's at free safety.
Another run for Travis Tice. Made quite the impression last year for his versatility, special teams as well. Another carry, and a good one there on first down.
So a little trivia question for you guys. I said 3-way All-Canadian tie for the league lead in picks. Can you name the other 2 guys? We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Gonna get working on that one.
Yeah.
It's a nice stat line right there.
Yeah.
That's a really solid year. You're feeling good about that.
Yes, sir.
Midway through the opening quarter of the 2026 season. Second down. Toss on the sweep for Alexander Hollins. His 2nd year with the Alouettes after starting his career with the BC Lions and moving on to Edmonton, but read nicely by Jamal Peters, who comes in and stops them there.
And again, you talk about value here at a position, and obviously quarterback is at a premium, but look at these numbers. I mean, it's not even close here. The stark contrast, that's how much value this guy brings on the field. And I would argue that he brings just as much off of it. You listen to the interviews, he's got the tank top on. He just seems like the team kind of embodies his attitude, and they were a couple plays away from winning a Grey Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I like to talk about the fact that in the game of football, I've always felt that teams take their personality largely from 2 sources, their head coach and their quarterback. I don't know if there are 2 more competitive guys on the planet than Jason Moss and Davis Alexander.
I would argue they almost multiply each other.
2nd and 11 now. That loss and that sweep by Hollins. Passing down here for Alexander, has time. Coming across to get that is Jarrett Stearns, who last year was with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and he has his first catch, but it is not quite enough for a first down. 3rd coming up here, and the punting unit coming on.
You'll see Jarrett Stearns coming right to left across your screen. He's the check down. He's just looking for a window there between the linebackers to provide an outlet, but just short of first down yardage.
Isaiah Wooden, didn't think they'd have him back this year. He'd signed a reserve contract with Cleveland, but was released earlier in the month, and they just brought him back a couple of weeks ago. One of the explosive returners in the CFL in 2025. He had 3 return touchdowns last season, and Wooden has the ball inside his 20 after a punt of 44 yards by Joseph Zima. Turns it back up.
Who has provided second life for people like Anthony Calvillo, Ricky Ray in the past. Now Bo Levi Mitchell, a guy looking for a championship in this second half of his career.
So second possession of the game, but that's going nowhere for Larry Roundtree as he loses a couple of yards. But yeah, the numbers, well, they don't lie for Bo Levi Mitchell despite a tough start with Hamilton. But the last couple of years, Luke, and you can see just what he has done leading the way in passing.
And what's scary is, talking to Bo, talking to Scott Milanovich before the game, is they're saying that this is the best he's looked.
Yeah.
So if he's doing that the last 2 years, what is this season going to bring?
Lost yardage and first down, 2nd and 13. It's caught. Finds a spot over the middle, just across the 30, and perfectly placed for a first down for the Ticats.
And this is a nice concept here. That's basically what I like to call little wraps. You're going to see a stop route right in this area, and then we're just going to wrap right around it here. So as we roll this, again, you got a quad look to the right. Here you go. You play this right off the linebacker. All you need is that split-second pause, and it's a speed cut inside. You don't want to square cut that. You want to rip in there, and obviously Bo's got it.
To Curly Gittins Jr. started his career with the Argos, went out to Edmonton, and now back in the East. First game with the Hamilton Tiger Cats and a first down, too. Up at the 32 and a 1st and 10. Mitchell, short coming across, and another completion for Bo Levi Mitchell in the first one as a Ticat for ex-Bomber Carrick Wheatfall, with Lorenzo Burns taking him down.
Yeah, certainly a little different look for that Ticat receiving core with one of their perennial stars, Tim White, having moved west to Winnipeg. Curly Gittins and Carrick Wheatfall coming back the other way and looking for big things from those guys.
Wheatfall got his first CFL start a couple of years ago in Winnipeg when Kenny Lawler was injured. They were teammates with the Bombers and teammates once more. Has a catch, 5 yards, 2nd and 5 at the Hamilton 37 with the Ticats in a 7-point lead. Mitchell hasn't thrown an incompletion yet in this game. And there is number 1. After 5 straight completions, looking for Lawler again. Second time he's looked for him. The last one was a pass interference call, but it's a 3rd and 5 coming up. Punting unit coming on for Hamilton.
This is really interesting here. So it looks like press coverage early, and that's obviously a matchup you want to take. But Montreal does a good job where you see Beverette just flying out there. So they almost bait Bo Levi into throwing it, knowing, okay, he's going to take this matchup. I'm absolutely flying out there to give help to our corner.
This is Mitchell McCarthy, the punter from Melbourne, Australia, who last January was in the national championship game in U.S. college football for Indiana. And that's Phillip Brooks on the return with a flag coming out for Brooks on the return for the Alouettes. Like a hold coming up here for the Alouettes. There's Tom Valesi as they push Montreal a little further back.
During the return, holding Montreal number 48. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Flagging Kabion Ento on special teams. Jason Mott.
A long ways away from being his 14th start of the season of his career. He's actually in his 159th to be exact. Now he actually is coming off his best training camp according to his head coach Scott Milanovic. He's at 36 years young. Bo Levi Mitchell still has tons of time left in this league. And I know, guys, we've talked about those CFL power rankings a few times, and I just want to say Bo Levi Mitchell was ranked number 2. His teammate Stavros Katsatonis said nothing against Nathan Rourke, who's at number 1, but that spot should have been saved for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Always an interesting argument, Brett. And by the way, you saw at the end of that graphic, Davis Alexander a perfect 3-0 and starts against Bo Levi Mitchell, but that one falls incomplete, intended off to the right for Tyson Philpott. Lost his footing.
Yeah, you take a look at this one. I think this just threw him off in his delivery. Watch when he gets to the end of his drop, that right foot kind of slipped out. Looks like he might have tweaked something there.
I hope not. I hope not, Dwayne. I was on Jay Ondrake's show last night. He's my preseason favorite MOP. We can't have this.
Of course, you have to be mindful. I mean, he had a slight knee injury in the preseason. Of course, the hamstring last year. Completes it there over the middle of Cole Speaker. Ball comes out as he was going down. They let it play out. Hamilton with the football. And it is Greg Jr. with the ball. Speaker slow to get up, needing help. Had the catch, enough for a first down. Looks like before he went down, that ball came out.
Yeah, Alexander hits Speaker in stride here. Starts off looking like a pretty good play.
Yeah, and I'll say this, watch the protection here. There's a pressure. It's an unbelievable job by the O-line, and Davis Alexander sees it, gets the ball out. It'll be interesting to see if he is down.
Saw the left hand go to the turf. So they're reviewing, and does a knee go down actually as well?
Certainly looks like the ball will be going back to Montreal here.
Yeah, and I think Yeah, it looked like that left knee maybe twisted up as he got pulled down.
Ripped out by Stavros Katsantonis with Quavian White taking Speaker down, but yeah, awkward with the knee. Seeing him reach forward and still getting attention is Cole Speaker.
Yeah, a guy who becomes so much more important this year in that Montreal receiving core. Austin Mack having moved on, Charleston Rambo not back with the team this season. So when you look at their American receivers, the sort of depth and experience, Cole Speaker, a very critical piece for the Montreal Alouettes.
After automatic review by the replay center, the Montreal player was down at the 33-yard line.
Well, I mentioned Tyson Philpott in Grey Cup here 3 years ago. There's another guy. To start the second half, a quick drive, Cody Fajardo had hit Austin Mack, and then a touchdown for Speaker. But have another look at the play here.
It's become a bit of a safety blanket, and obviously he's limping off right now. Hopefully he's all right, but you love to see the chemistry that him and Davis Alexander have. Again, there's some pressure coming from the right side. Davis Alexander looks left, kind of manipulating the defense. Boom, shot. He's in the right place where he's expected to be. Like you said, Dwayne, if he's not back this game, that is a major loss for this receiving core.
And the other play that came to mind in that Grey Cup on this very field was before the Philpott touchdown, 3rd and 5, as Fajardo found Speaker to set up and give Montreal a chance against the Bombers. And fondly remembered for what he did then, and you're right, a key part of this Alouette offense. Limping off there after the catch for the first down. Up across the 30. Davis Alexander. Looking like he's trying to change the play, but
time count violation.
A time count.
Montreal number 10. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
I think this was a substitution issue here. It looks like they're missing someone. You can see they're looking at the sidelines, and obviously now going 5R, but they only had 11 players on the field. Montreal's been a bit undisciplined right now when it comes to penalties.
And it's interesting because one of the things that we were talking about up here in the booth before the game is the fact that Montreal has not had a lot of change to their roster, right? It's not like there are guys who are unfamiliar to the system, to the team, etc. But a little out of sorts here maybe early on.
So after the penalty, Alexander, short coming across. And that's one of the new additions to the offense. Shamari,
one of the masterminds who can execute it. So that is a big spot for me to watch this year.
And I think when you look at the changes, it speaks to some of the depth that they've established.
Right back to Shamari Lawrence.
You know, like we mentioned Darnell Sankey going. Significant player, obviously, on the move. But Jeffrey Cantin-Arcou steps up now into a bigger role, a guy who's established himself as very productive, ready to play. Marc-Antoine Dequoy, we know, has been one of the top safeties in the league the last couple of years. You're replacing him with a guy in Nate Beauchemin, who was a high draft pick for them a year ago, ready to start. Jonathan Sutherland, former NFLer, who they had picked a couple of years ago, now providing depth at that spot as well. So they've insulated themselves against some of those losses.
Another Aussie punter, the veteran Joseph Zima, 6th year now with the Owls out of Incarnate Word, descended to Isaiah Wooden at the Hamilton 40. 50. Midfield has some room. And look at him go. Across midfield, a great return. Down close to the 30 of the Montreal Alouettes. A great place for Bo Levi Mitchell and company to start a drive.
Isaiah Wooden, one of the great stories of the 2025 season for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Real breakout player in the return game. You mentioned earlier a guy they expected to lose to the National Football League. They had signed Mario Alford. Great returner from Saskatchewan in free agency. And then late in camp, they end up getting Wooden back.
And a 38-yard return for Isaiah Wooden. So Larry Roundtree gets another touch. Of course, Greg Bell here last year. He moved on as a free agent to Ottawa, and Roundtree won the job. You look at those off-season changes for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
I know everyone's excited about Larry Roundtree, and as they should be, but to me, Greg Bell, you know, is one of the guys they've lost, is not talked about enough. This guy is an electric runner. I love watching him on film, and I think that Roundtree's got big shoes to fill. Yeah. Sometimes you can get carried away with, oh, we got all these receivers. It's great to have a great back as well.
out of Missouri. There's another catch for Keandre Smith on a first down, wrestled out by Wesley Sutton.
This is a pretty cool play here. You're going to see they get man coverage, and you got a tight end backside in line. And what I want you to watch here is basically it's a pick route. So you see everyone on the line of scrimmage. It's man coverage. And it's called a natural rub. You don't necessarily need to pick anyone. Just get in their way so they can't fly to the flat. And it's an easy pitch and catch from Bo Levi Smith.
Once again, the tight end, Max Mang, is in there. And he gets his first CFL catch from Potsdam, Germany. Global player, played his college ball at Syracuse. Max Mang.
Mitigate the effect maybe of someone who is coming free.
Absolutely.
So the second quarter begins at the Alouettes 17. A second and long for Mitchell. Gets some protection, but the pressure is too much. Tyrese Beverett, weak side linebacker, coming in to provide some heat against his old team. And Mitchell goes down, and a third down coming up.
This is one of those when you're an offensive lineman, you get a little annoyed because the sack shows up on the stat sheet, but it's quick game. So you kind of want to jump set or not take a big drop. You see them all here kind of sliding. It's just a bit unfortunate that ends up a sack on the play sheet. See how there's no depth there? They're expected to get the ball out quickly.
Yeah, and one of the challenges that the Tiger Cats recognized this week, knowing how Montreal plays, Larry Roundtree, first-year CFL running back, that there will be some challenges in blitz pickup, that recognition.
Absolutely, absolutely, especially in the Canadian game because guys can be flying from all over the place.
Yeah.
So Mark Leggio, 27-yarder, missed only 4 field goals last year, and a good start for him to add to the Ticat lead. 3 more on the board for Leggio and the Ticats, and a 10-0 lead early in this second quarter.
One of my favorite, images is after a second down, and you look at Bo Levi, he's on the iPad, and you can see he had a look of confusion. There's something that Noel Thorpe drew up there where there was pre-snap, confused him again. It was quick game. It was a traditional stick play, and pre-snap they had a different read, and obviously Montreal, big success.
So Alouette football again. Shamari Lawrence, the running back beside Davis Alexander, a fake to him. And a quick one to Tyson Philpott. Gets across midfield and a first down just like that for the Alouettes.
And I love the spacing here of the field, just the room that they give Philpott to go to work, essentially giving him almost half the field. It's 2 receivers out to that wide side. And the window's pretty big.
Absolutely in there to hand that ball off. This is the offense they want to play.
Just across midfield and a first down for Davis Alexander. Alouettes in a 10-point hole. Well, he has to check it down to Lawrence, who takes a pop. And the ball comes out. That was ex-Alouette Reggie Stubblefield, the nickel linebacker, coming in with a hard hit. And that ball came out. They discussed this one.
The Hamilton Tiger Cats signed Reggie Stubblefield in free agency before the 2025 season. And, it's one that I thought at the time, very astute signing, because he had missed essentially the entire 2024 year because of injury. Hurt right at the start of the year, but this is a guy, that previous year, the Grey Cup year for Montreal, one of the key changes to their starting lineup was inserting Reggie Stubblefield at that spot. Impactful guy.
No fumble. It came out when he was down. Alexander on the move. Being chased, but does get rid of it. And Tyson Philpott wanted a flag, and Philpott does get it. Pass interference coming up here against the Ticats.
Well, close call, but
Pass interference. Hamilton, number 30. Spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
you see Katsantonis at the bottom of your screen. He's going to sort of mirror the quarterback getting out to the sideline to make a play on this one. I don't know if defensive fans are going to love that.
I don't love it either, and I'm not a defensive fan.
Yeah, that's look pretty close.
There's a penalty. There's a first down. And here come the Alouettes. And quickly, again, for Alexander to to Sneed down inside the 25 now. As this is the best the Alouettes offense has looked so far.
Yeah, and again, this is the game they want to play. They basically nickel and dime you down the field, and they have such a physical up front offensive line that's, again, is an RPO right there, pulls it out, goes into the slot. This time set out wide to Philpott like the one before. When they get this going, they're very, very hard to stop.
Yeah, I know you're a big run game advocate.
I am a huge run game guy.
Scrimmage.
Yes, and this is what they'd like to get going.
And they run it this time with Lawrence. Can't find anything up the middle. He cuts it out, but not much there, and a flag comes out in the Alouette backfield as well.
This is going to be a holding here, and I got to show some love to the O-lineman because it's an inside zone play. And when we bounce outside, that's when your arms get extended. So, yes, you want to run your feet.
Holding. Montreal number 54. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Yes, you want to run your feet when the arms get extended, but you're not expecting the ball to bounce. So you look at Lawrence here. It's actually a great win for him. He gets thrown a bit there, so you do want to let go. But outside, I thought there was another one we just saw that could have been called as well.
So it pushes them back on the hold. It's a 1st and 20. Ball back to the Hamilton 35. Alouettes still with no points in this game. 10-0. Hamilton leading it. Second quarter. Alexander. Over the middle. He threads that beautifully to Sneed. Still going into the end zone. For the first Alouette touchdown at 20-26. Davis Alexander to Tyler Sneed.
This is an absolute seed from Davis Alexander. Holy smokes, this is sweet. Okay, this is a perfect view. Just watch this throw. He looks left. Are you kidding me? Look at the window. You want to talk about greatness? You want to talk about coming out here and ripping a ball in there? There's 1 foot he can fit that ball in there. And not only does he do it, it hits Sneed right in the chest. Gosh, that's fun to watch.
The thought running through my mind as I watched him throw that ball, and you saw the angle there, how close it was. You know, we knew it at the time, but if you don't like that throw, you don't like football.
I'm fired up. That gets me juiced.
Football's definition of threading the needle.
Fans in Hamilton, Ontario. Milt, do you know what's better than standing beside one Hall of Famer?
What's that, Kate?
2 Hall of Famers. Brandon, on behalf of the CFL and the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, you will be inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame this coming September.
Yeah, hey, that's a pretty good surprise. How you feeling right now about it?
I'm so surprised, but thank you to the CFL, thank you to Ticat Nation, thank you to the Ticat organization for everything they've done for me. It's a surreal moment.
Brandon, I have to ask, you've played in some incredible stadiums in this league, some incredible fans in Toronto and in Hamilton, but what specifically does this fan base mean to you?
I mean everything to me. I mean, they made me who I am. They made the Speedy B name bigger than me. So I'm just happy I was able to go out there, you know, play 8 consecutive years with them and cheer me on loud, and I just enjoyed it while I was here.
Congratulations, Brandon.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to the club.
What a moment for Speedy B. Brandon Banks. There initially, just to be honored as Ticat, great alumni. He didn't know. And yeah, an embrace for Kate Burness, who filled him in. He is going to the Hall of Fame, which happens to be here in Hamilton as well. Richly deserved for a tremendous career as a returner and as a receiver.
Yeah, and a guy who kind of forced his way onto the offense, right? He was such a dominant performer in the return game. For a while, the Tiger Cats were hesitant to let him play on offense because he was so critical to them on special teams, but they thought, well, if he's doing this, getting the ball in his hands 5 or 10 times a game, imagine if we can use him on offense. That was when June Jones first took over as head coach. And
Back in 2017.
Yeah, and Speedy B became the go-to receiver with Jeremiah Masoli slinging the ball.
June Jones, there's an offensive player right there.
Former Ticat head coach here, but yeah, been in many stops. And that was a big decision to change. He ended up being the #1 receiver in the Canadian Football League in 2019. They went 15-3 that year and went on to the Grey Cup against Winnipeg. Brandon Banks heading to the Hall of Fame as he just found out. So after the Montreal touchdown and up across the talk about future Hall of Famers and the pace he's going. Kenny Lawler, biggest play was a pass intended for him. He was interfered with. It was a 48-yard gain that set up a Hamilton touchdown.
Yeah, and he's an unbelievable deep threat. I was his teammate in Seattle for 2 seasons. He also has a very, very good route tree. He can run the slants underneath, but I will say you can't leave him one-on-one.
A lot of teams found that out last year, especially on that short toss and good yardage after it. For Carrick Wheatfall, another catch for him. Look at what Kenny Lawler did last year. Big plays. He had 8 touchdown catches, Luke, in his first 6 games.
Again, and it was a while ago, but just seeing him play in person, and he was, again, younger, the deep ball is always there, but I don't think he's just limited to a go ball guy. You know, he's not one of those receivers who can only do one thing. He can really do it all.
First down at the Hamilton 47, and caught there by Roundtree, but he slipped and fell, denied him a chance to pick up any extra yardage.
Speaking of doing it all here, obviously it was slip and fall, but look how they're using him here. We're going in motion, and we're climbing up and blocking Burns here. Inside shoulder drives him out. Hey, he does a little bit of blocking too.
Hey, in the Canadian Football League as a receiver, in this day and age, you better be able to block.
Or else.
Right? Yeah, I mean, so many variations of the screen pass. Big in CFL offenses right now.
4 receivers to the left for Mitchell. Throws it down to the right for Lawler. Nearly that patented catch with good coverage by Wesley Sutton. They went for him again. They've gone a couple of deep balls on Kenny Lawler, and that one incomplete. 3rd and 12 coming up.
I don't love this throw here, and you'll see it's a double move, but you look at Burns. Burns is actually in cut coverage, so you've got a safety over the top in Sutton. If you're not going to rip that ball in there, it's a very, very tough completion. I get you call the double move, you're looking for something, but in that coverage, to me, it's dead.
Is that one you want to see thrown a little bit earlier?
Earlier and more on the line? Yes, kind of. I like to call it the honey hole, the spot between the low corner and the high safety.
Yes.
Short punt by Mitch McCarthy. It just takes a hop right around the Montreal 30. 35-yard punt. Football. Impressive drive last time out. Lots of time for Alexander, who looks deep. Once Alexander Hollins, nearly an interception by Jamal Peters, as Hollins thinks there was a jersey tug there and wanted the flag. He didn't get it, so it's incomplete in the 2nd down.
Yeah, pretty well covered.
Yes.
On that play for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, not just the ball hawking corner, Jamal Peters, but safety Stavros Katsantonis was in the middle of the field all the way.
Yeah, and it was a really nice job by Stavros because they were trying to drag him to the left, and he really, it's route recognition, picked up on what was going on and went right to the middle of the field. Heck of a play there.
By the way, the other Canadians with 6 picks last year, Devon Campbell and Adrian Green. I cheated for it. Tyler Snead had that brilliant touchdown and that great throw threaded by Alexander the last time out.
I'm going to say right now, the Ticats defensive backs and linebackers are really playing downhill, and it's fun to watch. And you look at some of these tackles there by Stubblefield. It's a big ordeal. I know it seems routine, but you miss that, and you got a fresh set of downs. They're near foot, near shoulder. They're playing downhill. The drops look sharp. Outside of a couple penalties, they're playing extremely well defensively. Yeah,
and Stubblefield's a guy that they'll really look to as a leader in that linebacking core, particularly in the absence right now of Winton McManus.
So Zima to punt the last time he did. Good return by Wooden at 38 yards. Chases him back inside the 15. Isaiah Wooden. Tyrell Richards had a shot.
Not necessarily new faces, right? Filling from within for the most part. You know, and then you add in a supporting role Micah Awe, who just led the league in tackles last year.
Nice addition.
Yeah.
Coming over from the BC Lions. So it's Hamilton 27. Hamilton football. 3-point lead. Little fake there to Roundtree, and all kinds of time with only a 3-man rush. Ends up sending it to Roundtree, who works his way up for an 8-yard gain in the 2nd and short ahead.
Here's one of the leaders of that defense year after year, a former Hamilton Tiger Cat, but a guy who has really found his home in Montreal. And you know, we talk about the Noel Thorpe system, and one of the things that really stands out about it is the interchangeability of players, right? That multiplicity, guys who can line up in different positions. I don't know if anyone personifies that more than Beverette. Listed as the starting will linebacker, but we see him dropping back, whether it's a safety, halfback, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and when you can have a guy like that, like you said, Dwayne, can stop the run, play there as a linebacker, and also be so dominant in pass coverage, especially in this league, it's just such a special guy to have.
So Roundtree finished it off, got the next 2 yards on the ground to pick up the first down for Hamilton. Yeah, Beverette, great special teams player in Hamilton, but didn't really get his chance to star on defense until he left the Ticats and signed on with the Montreal Alouettes. From the Hamilton 37 and a 1st and 10 for Bo Levi Mitchell, who's 10 for 12 in this game. Pressure coming, and he gets rid of it beforehand, and down low for Carrick Wheatfall. And a completed pass. That was Jeffrey Cantin-Arcou, the blitzing middle linebacker, coming in.
Yeah, and you see him mugged up in that line of scrimmage. We have so often seen Cantin-Arcou in the past getting involved as a pass rusher. Here, breaking free immediately, forcing Mitchell out of rhythm. But Bo able to come up with that short completion.
And whistles down just as they started that play in the 2nd and 4. And you saw that replay, and a challenge is coming out. I'm not surprised. It did not look like it hit the turf before it got scooped up.
And I'll say this, if it is either way.
Montreal is challenging for an incomplete pass. The replay center will review the play.
Either way, it's a win, even if it doesn't go their way as far as the call goes, because Hamilton had a little drop play on there that looked like it was going to be an explosive play. So you're in a win situation already, but I'm with you, Rod. I do think this bad boy might have touched the ground.
Yeah, a little one hopper.
Hey, too close.
I think there's a little skip in there.
This is so tough.
Well, bearing in mind the call on the field was a completion.
Yeah, it's ground to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks to me too like it just hit the field.
Yes, I think we've reached a consensus here in the booth. It's just a matter of if the replay center does the same. Cabianento agrees.
Sure looks like it'll be coming back. We had one challenge earlier in this game. That was for pass interference, a successful challenge. So how about this challenge by Jason Moss? Here's the announcement.
After review by the replay center, we have an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down.
So push it back to a 2nd and 10 and take a catch away from Carrick Wheatfall, who does have a couple for 20 yards tonight in his Ticats debut.
On 2nd and long, you get back into your defensive wheelhouse.
Five minutes now and counting until halftime. From the 37. 2nd and 10. Pressure, and Mitchell checks it down. Gets it up around the 40 for Curly Gittens Jr. New Ticat with his 2nd catch of this game, but not enough for a first down. So, yeah, the challenge works out in a few ways, and Hamilton's going to have to punt the football.
And it's a tremendous job by the offensive line here. You can see they're shown on the left side. It looks like there's pressure. They bail from the left, bring it from the right. Look at Roundtree step up, block Cantin-Arcou, but the back end protected. It's a great job here by the Alouettes, and they're certainly starting to settle down a little bit.
Oh, good pressure on McCarthy. He does get it away for Phillip Brooks. Catches that and eludes the rush with flags coming down for no yards. Tack on 15 for the Alouettes. Well, nice to see the band back together, especially right here in the site of the opener. Kate Burness, Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, and the legendary Milt Stiegel as well with their thoughts coming up at halftime.
Has Milt added legendary to like his legal name?
He said, just see if he can just slide it in one.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say that. Sorry, 85. The legendary 85. They're all legends.
During the return, illegal block, Montreal number 30. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So again, penalties haunting the Alouettes here a little bit in the first half of this ball game. We go back to that first Hamilton drive.
Yeah, you look at Jason Moss there, you can kind of read the body language. I don't think he's too thrilled about some of the things that are occurring.
Yeah.
Look at that difference, 7 for 88 in penalties. And they had the no yards, but negated, pushed back on that penalty from the 22. It's back to Lawrence. He's a running back now. Travis Tice started, and lo and behold, we have another flag coming out as he got tackled up at the 30.
And that flag seemed to come late, back closer to the box.
Against the Alouettes to push them further back.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Montreal 66. That penalty will be applied at the end of the play. It'll be second down.
They flag the left guard, Pierre-Olivier Lestage. Number 66, as Tom Valesi had announced. So it's back inside the 15 now.
Well, we know Lestage is a guy who plays with a little bit of an edge.
Yes.
It's become
Wonder what he did. Wonder what he did.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
He knows.
Yes.
Didn't see any argument there. We got a long way to go now. Alexander airs it out again. Speed again. Big play combo in this season opener. Davis Alexander to Tyler Sneed, and with one quick strike in 3.5 minutes till halftime, they're in business.
Something is happening here. You see there's a 3-receiver side. They run a little 4-man rush, nothing crazy. You watch Sneed running here. There's got to be a busted coverage. I mean, we're just running right at the field. Stavros kind of reads eyes. I don't know if it's a discipline thing there, but that can't happen on that situation. You get backed up. What a game-changing play. And again, nothing really spectacular. Outside of Davis Alexander kind of stepping up in the pocket and letting it fly.
Well, it goes back to that touchdown.
Minute warning given as Alexander hangs on, but Sneed, who has 131 yards receiving and a touchdown, will be back. Though 40.
Yeah, and the thing that set it up, and keep an eye here on a couple of people. There's the safety, Stavros Katsantonis, and obviously your quarterback, Davis Alexander. Now, as Alexander kind of gets flushed from the pocket, we're watching Katsantonis. He's going to get influenced and pulled down to his right as he sees Alexander moving to his right. He thinks the ball's coming that way. That one false step pulls him away. Tyler Sneed never stops running down that seam. And Davis Alexander, as we saw in the touchdown pass earlier, fearless. Right? He's going to make that throw back to the other side of the field.
Marco Dubois spent his entire year with the Red Blacks. Set up this, Dustin Crump. Hey, this is former Red Black so far. You got Dubois getting near first down yardage, then Crum started his career with Ottawa, now a Montreal Alouette in short yardage.
Well, we mentioned Trey Ford coming to Hamilton and the running threat he presents, but Dustin Crum, not bad with his feet himself, Luke.
Absolutely not. I enjoyed last season seeing the Crum back late in the year. That was a lot of fun.
He was thrown into the fire in 2023 with all the injuries at quarterback Ottawa had. Coming out of Kent State and ended up starting 9 games that year and a couple of big comebacks and victories for Ottawa, but ultimately moves on, signs on with Montreal this year. And an injured player that looks like the center, Justin Lawrence, is down. And here's what happened in the short yardage play.
There you see him right in the middle, obviously. And you see a couple of players, opponents and teammates alike, I think, just falling across the back of his legs.
That would be a really tough loss. Again, playing his 100th CFL game today, 3-time Grey Cup champ. Really kind of the backbone of this offensive line. And also, they haven't used it a ton, but they're now starting to run short on O-linemen, and they do like to bring in an extra O-lineman, kind of play that tight end position. This is going to be a tough one. Judging by the way he's limping right now, I'm not sure he's coming back.
He's won championships wherever he's gone, Dwayne.
Well, he has, yeah. Three rings, 3 different teams for Justin Lawrence. We've joked in the past, if I'm a free agent, I'm just signing wherever Justin Lawrence goes.
Well, he won with Calgary in 2018 with Bo Levi Mitchell, by the way. And he went to Toronto. He won in 2022, and then he signed on with the Alouettes in 23, and lo and behold, won another Grey Cup. But heading off now, limping as they are close again with a chance to take the lead in this game for the first time. Trailing by 3. Halftime beckons, 2:40 on the clock. 1st and 10, running play, Shamari Lawrence. After Travis Tice started the game at running back, it has been Lawrence, and that pickup set up a 2nd down.
And a team that's always been a little bit of a running back by committee type of unit, as Luke mentioned earlier. I mean, they're a team that wants to be able to run the football and then build a lot of their passing game off of that. Sean Thomas Erlington retiring in the offseason opens up an opportunity here for Shamari Lawrence to join Travis Tice back there.
And Stevie Scott injured and cannot play in this opener, so has been an opportunity for Shamari Lawrence right out of college in the CFL, and with the ball again as it set up a draw, but doesn't work. Ticats are all over that on that 2nd and 5, stuffing them for nothing.
You want to talk about the cat and mouse game here? This is really a fun pre-snap moment. So you do what we call a hank, but the wide receivers come up and they pause to see what the defense is running, and it looks like cover 0. So as you see this here, we have the motion up, and you see everyone coming in, and Davis Alexander checks. But as you can see, Sutherfield is also checking, so now we drop into zone. And obviously Hamilton got the upper end on that chess match there, and really a cool moment pre-snap between 2 great players.
Interesting look at Alexander going to work there. So Jose Maltos Diaz comes in for his first field goal try of the season, put down by Joseph Zima. And Maltos Diaz in his 3rd year is the top kicker for the Alouettes, who had 58 field goals last year. Gets his first in 2026. We got a 10-10 tie with 1:47 on the clock until halftime.
I'll say this, Dwayne, going back to the Snead catch, one of the things that amazes me about the quarterback position,
he's anticipating the ball's coming to his right, and for Davis Alexander to kind of recognize in that split second,
yes,
I got him to move, I got to throw it right now.
Very special.
Oh, what? Talking about the field look tilted in the first quarter. It's a little different this time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A couple of big plays to Snead, including a touchdown. We got a 10-10 tie. It's Wooden on the kick return. And Nate Bushman starting safety and also in on special teams with Gagne's help and Bubba Bolden too.
You see Mark Leggio on the sidelines, maybe hoping for a shot at one to end this first half. His career long is 53, but you know, we talked about the field seeming a little slanted. The field seems slanted in favor of the team that's had the win, even though it hasn't necessarily seemed obvious in the passing game.
Yes.
So I'm not sure what Leggio's range will be against the breeze here.
He was gusting around 30 kilometers an hour, going from right to left. There's a nice catch. And just shy of a first down for Keandre Smith. It's coming off his best season, his first 1,000-yard receiving season in 2025.
Dwayne, what university did Leggio go to?
Well, I will tell you, I believe Mark Leggio is a former Western Mustang. You know, a perfect segue, by the way. Big tailgate party happening at Western this Saturday.
Don't get him started, Luke. Don't get him started.
The retirement of head coach Greg Marshall, concluding a fantastic career, one of the all-time greats.
I know Greg, a terrific career, player and coach. Congratulations to him. One of the U Sports legends for sure. And that is Roundtree on the carry. 1:18 to go. They still have some work to do if they want to get into Leggio's range, especially against this breeze. blowing from the south. From the 49, quickly caught, and a nice catch that was by Lawler.
Well, in the ladder.
Was right up for it, Kenny Lawler style. New season, same old Kenny Lawler.
And this is pre-snap here. It's cover zero again. You see it soft coverage. It's very easy execution for Bo Levi Mitchell there if you're going to run cover zero. To me, it's too simple almost. They lined up and if they showed it, they're deep. It's an easy pitch and catch.
72nd straight game with at least one catch for that man, Kenny Lawler. So just over a minute to go till halftime. Second down and inches. They're throwing. Extra play, and it is caught. It's Myron Mitchell, who's been with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and coming over to the Ticats, does have the first down. 54 seconds to go until halftime.
And again, man coverage is a mesh concept. You see the crossers here, and Bo's just got to buy time because he knows it's the perfect call versus man coverage. Right now, Milanovic has kind of won the chess match last two plays, excuse me. Uh-oh.
Snap it in a hurry.
Yes.
We've already seen a challenge on a catch, but they get this one off at the 46, trying to get a little bit closer for Leggio, and that'll help. Flag is out, though. It's Carrick Wheatfall in his first game with the Tiger Cats, also coming over from Winnipeg. And see what the flag's all about. They would certainly be in field goal range.
Hey, what do you got? We have objectionable conduct on the Montreal bench. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Never a good time for that kind of penalty, but this is particularly brutal, isn't it?
It is, and you look at the clock right now. Situational football, you got everything at your arsenal. That's a tough one if you're a player right now trying to stop Bo Levi Mitchell on a 3-minute drive here, and sideline's getting a penalty.
Sorry, Luke, I'm told that the penalty was Noel Thorpe blocking the referee's view.
Well,
here we go. That's caught. That's Curly Gittins who keeps his feet. He breaks a tackle. It's down near the 10. 31 seconds to go.
well, and then as we talk about this penalty, you're going to see right at the top of the 45-yard line in the red shirt is Noel Thorpe. He's in front of the official, and this was one of the things that we've been told. Now, with the benches this year moving to opposite sides of the field, there's really going to be a crackdown on bench personnel being on the field of play.
Costly penalty back to Gittins inside the 10. So talking about getting close enough for Leggio, and now they have to be thinking touchdown. The second down coming up, 22 seconds to go.
What a heck of a play here by Murray. I mean, you talk about pulling the trigger and playing downhill. That is a nice concept. It's a good play call versus that defense, and he just recognized it and fires. Heck of a job.
Looking to the end zone, caught by Gittins. Close, Murray with the tackle to save the touchdown. Third down coming up now, 9 seconds on the clock, and Hamilton is down to the Montreal 1.
Well, Curly Gittins, you know, we talk about him replacing Tim White. I feel like a little bit in this Hamilton offense that what we've seen is the growth of Keandre Smith to where Keandre Smith is replacing Tim White, and you now need someone to replace Keandre Smith. That's where I think Curly Gittins comes in, and he's been big on this drive.
Absolutely.
Quick hitters.
Absolutely. And Dwayne,
Timeout, Hamilton.
what I love about that is just the recognition pre-snap. You know, you look at Bo Levi Mitchell here. Noel Thorpe actually drops into a two-man coverage. When we say two-man, there's two high safeties, and it's inside leverage. So you want to find an outbreaking route, and for a new guy, especially down here, it's tight windows. That's a heck of a throw, obviously, to get him down here, get them the first down, and give him a shot to score here with 9 seconds left.
At the Montreal 1, it's a first and goal with just 9 seconds to go. Looking to retake their lead in a 10-10 tie. Roundtree, the running back, in behind Mitchell. Faking to him, he'll throw it. Tosses into the end zone, closest receiver is Smith, wants the flag and gets it. Keandre Smith, Robert Kennedy, and Nate Beauchemin were both in coverage, and that one went too far, and Smith was immediately calling for a flag.
Pass interference. Montreal number 23. Ball's placed on the 1 yard line. First down.
You could see Bo Levi Mitchell trying to lead Keandre Smith to the back of the end zone here. And he just can't pull away. It looked like he got tugged a little bit by Beauchemin, the safety on that one.
Well, the only issue now is the clock. It's still back at the 1. 4 seconds. That's it. The handoff. Pushing, touchdown. Andy Milanovic-Litre gets it in. An impressive work after the Alouettes had come back to tie it by Hamilton's offense to move it down and take it in on the final play of the first half.
And you wonder, did the penalty lead to this being a touchdown rather than a field goal attempt?
Yes, and it's a really pretty simple kind of old school play, little fullback option. I'll say this, when you look at this thing here again, I should say misdirection, not option, excuse me. It's a good job, good push up front. The only thing you're not going to love about it is the spike here by your own lineman. Watch Reed here. Oh no, Boy, say, we're going to give you that ball to spike it. We got to hit that thing in the ground.
So zeros on the clock before, but of course they allow for the point after, which is done there by Leggio.
Gash him for chunks.
Thanks for this one, Tyler.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Some big chunks, I might add, including the touchdown and the big 70-yarder later than that. And back forward is Phillip Brooks to start this second half, and the kick by Leggio as he gets it just across the 35, a return of 20 yards. But yeah, more examples of what we're talking about. Alexander to Snead.
Yeah, and Snead's a fun receiver to watch. This early one here, kind of a broken off schedule play. That's the throw. Might be the throw of the year, first game of the season. And for him to kind of take off there, he's got the juice. He can go down the field. I love him in the run game too. He's a physical guy. He really is a utility receiver where he can do everything. A really fun player to watch.
So first down, opening possession, second half, and throwing to Tyson Philpott. And up near first down yardage, right across the 45. So Alexander and the Owls throwing right away.
And you talk about the little things that look simple. Terrific adjustment to the football here by Tyson Philpott on the outside. This one's a little bit behind him, but just settling the feet a little bit. That great body control to catch the ball softly in the hands and get what he can.
Well, these quarterbacks are 33 of 38 combined, over 86%, and Alexander himself 15 of 17 now with that last one for 209 in the touchdown pass. It's short yardage here, and Dustin Crum is in. Mentioned his Alouettes debut after a few seasons, doing similar things in short yardage with the Ottawa Redblacks, gets the first down.
Luke, we've had the conversation before about CFL training camps and how short they are, trying to get ready for the regular season, etc. Both these teams, I'm going to be curious, as we've talked about the guys they have as their backup quarterbacks, as the season progresses and you get a little more practice time, to see if they maybe develop packages for Dustin Crum, a package of plays to take advantage of his legs. Trey Ford, similar thing in Hamilton.
Absolutely.
Up at the 48 now, and a first and 10. Alexander has time. Deeper look to the right. Nobody there. A mix-up. Destin Talbert, the only one close to it. The Hamilton defender, but can't get to it as it heads out of bounds.
Yeah, a little smash concept here. Hitch on the outside, corner by the slot receiver. Snead gets a little jammed up. If you watch Snead here, again, so the outside guy's going to run something short. Here goes Snead on this route. And I just think he has a hard time making a decision on where to go. It ends up going high there. I think, again, that one's on Snead. You can see there, yeah, it's on me. You got to break that flat, and Davis Alexander can throw you flat. You can't do that and just kind of abandon the route.
You can see he's trying to read leverage there, right? Of the defender, and Talbot had him confused.
He's allowed the occasional bogey, right? Kind of night he's had. Deeper ball again, catchable, but no, it's Jared Stearns. And right there, Quavian White starting at the field half spot, right on him and celebrating too with that one not caught in the third down coming up.
And this to me is a fantastic defensive play. If you look at the
said it, Dwayne. Wow. Bang, bang play there. Great job.
Quavian White, second-year player, first year as a full-time starter at that field half position.
They'd used him for a couple of games last year as a returner. And they had some injury concerns with Isaiah Wooden. Speaking of Isaiah Wooden, takes this one off the hop. No, he doesn't. It rolls into the end zone and out of bounds. The punt spirit of that was for those field goal situations where they couldn't play it, and it was out of the back of the end zone. No point there. Hamilton still with a 7-point lead, and it is Eddie Litre had the touchdown right at the end of the first half with that catch.
And again, this is a cool start here from Hamilton coming out. Okay, you're going to see you got a tight end and a fullback set, and you basically the slice motion by Litre. Draws everybody in. Looks like it's kind of divide zone. We just slot the fullback on the flag, get a free first down.
And on that first down, it is Larry Roundtree in his first CFL game with another carry. He had 5 carries for just 11 yards in the first half.
It'll be interesting to see if the Ticats use him a little bit more in that passing game. I know, Luke, you talked a little bit about the explosiveness of Greg Bell in their backfield last year and how they used him in different ways. You know, like Bell had over 60 catches for the Tiger Cats last year, about 3.5 a game.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard pickup by Roundtree, who remains beside Mitchell. 4-man rush. That one is complete. Another one for Carrick Wheatfall in his Ticats debut, and a first down for Hamilton.
And you see Wheatfall on the outside here is just going to slant underneath. Another quick hitter for Bo Levi Mitchell. Does a nice job just buying himself a little bit of time and space.
Gets it down to the 48. So the Ticats moving into the Alouette zone. Last time they had the ball, they had a late first half drive, got it down. We're thinking field goal for a while, but they got a penalty and ended up getting a touchdown. That's Roundtree again, not much. Product of McGill University, former BC Lion Josh Archibald in on the tackle there for Montreal.
And Josh Archibald, kind of neat to see he's getting a little bit more time in that defensive line rotation this year. This is a guy who established himself very quickly in BC as an impactful special teams player. Played his football, university football at McGill, as you mentioned, came to the Owls last year as a free agent, missed the first part of the year due to injury. He didn't get a ton of time on D, but really earning his snaps this season out of camp.
Gain of 1 for Roundtree. Here's Mitchell again on the 2nd and 9. Wide open is Smith. DeAndre Smith is another catch. And a good debut night for 2026 as he gets it into the red zone, down to the 15.
This is a really cool play design here. And if you look at this, you're going to use Kenny Lawler right here as a clear out. So as we roll this, you see Kenny, and Bo's looking at it, and then Keontre does a little double move out and up. And what I want you to see there is you look at how much coverage rolls towards Kenny Lawler, and you run that out and up, stick on, if you will, and there's a ton of soft spots in the zone.
Down to the 15 of Montreal. Mitchell throwing to the left again. Wide open is DeAndre Smith. Wesley Sutton. And get some help from Lorenzo Burns to prevent him from getting the first down. But that was a big combination a year ago with Mitchell to Smith, and it strikes again.
And another one here. I know it's small, it's the details, but watch here Keontre Smith. And the aiming point here is outside shoulder and speed. And Bo's looking. This is how we talk. Okay, Bo says, if I can get this corner to take 1 step back, I know I'm going to have this speed out. It's just, I know it's a simple play, but that's how you execute and get 9 yards when you're in the tight red zone.
Jake Dolegala in for short yardage now. 2nd down and less than a yard. He had a touchdown in the first half for Hamilton. Their first touchdown of the season. Needs to push that to about the 5. It looks like he does before getting pushed back. That was on a 2nd down play as well for Dolegala from Hamburg, New York. Went to Central Connecticut and got his CFL career going with the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Luke, you talk about the previous play and the simplicity of it, but the importance of execution. And that's been a big part of the growth for Bo Levi Mitchell, right? Is understanding sometimes it's it's okay to take the simple play and not try to make every play something spectacular.
Especially on a Noel Thorpe-led defense. If they're going to give you those little speed outs, out routes, you got to take them because that will protect you from any sort of exotic pressures.
Tight end Max Mang is in again, number 82. First and goal at the 5. Swinging it back for Wheatfall. Gets inside the 5, near the goal line for Hamilton. And it's a touchdown for the Tiger Cats, as he just got there. Painter for Wheatfall in his first game with Hamilton.
You see Wheatfall comes across the formation and really on that belly kind of gives up a lot of yardage in terms of where they're getting them the football.
Yeah, and it's a really tough spot. Wow, look at that effort there. The guy's going through mid-air. But it's a tough spot to put Montreal's V. Sutton in because he's in man coverage. He's got to go all the way around. And you said it, Dwayne, the depth there with a speedster like Wheatfall gives him that little extra bit of cushion. You got to break that tackle. Hamilton is just firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and you know, as we talk about the play calling, the chess match that goes on in this football game, in this instance,
getting the touchdown is Spurs with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They have 14 unanswered now after Montreal had driven back in the second to tie it up.
He's out. Receiver Cole Speaker, as well as offensive lineman. You saw him go down before the half. Justin Lawrence. All three will not return tonight.
And you just saw 59 Cyril Hogan Sandon now in at center, replacing Justin Lawrence for Jason Moss's Alouettes. And fought back to tie it at 10. All Hamilton since with 2 drives, by the way, against the wind. Montreal's working with it now, and that one goes over an intended receiver. Comes closest to Hollins, but Jamal Peters right there hits the turf, second down.
It just seems like all game Montreal has had not been on the same page. Even this play here, it's pressure from the right side. You're going to see at the top of your screen. We roll it the other way. You're feeling good, and our receivers aren't looking. And it's a bit overthrown. It just seems like play after play, somebody is not on the same page offensively.
Yeah, just not quite as sharp as you'd expect from a team with the level of continuity they've had.
And only 2 incompletions in the first half, 3 already in the second half for Davis Alexander. Second and 10. He does have time. Philip Osai nearly gets him. And guess who gets him there? It's Kendricks, Mario Kendricks, number 22, for sack number 1 in 26.
293 pounds, perhaps the largest player to ever wear number 22 in NFL history.
That's wild.
Mario Kendricks, he just keeps the motor running on this when he gets blocked up initially. But Davis Alexander has no chance to get rid of this football as the pressure closes down. Philip Osai doing a nice job there as well. A great midseason pickup for the Ticats a year ago.
First sack allowed by the Alouettes in this game. Joseph Zima will have to kick it away deep in the Montreal zone. He's standing back at his 11. Flag coming out. Whistled down with the snap of the ball.
Drill number 36. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
I'll tell you, Rod, it's really strange to see this. And you talk about hidden yards in a game. You know, the ball, the start of the drive here is at the 40, and we're now punting from the 20. It's another 5 after the sack. 20 yards, a big ordeal, especially when you're down like this. Silly mistakes have hurt the Alouettes all game.
Not much further back, so that is 6 for Wooden to take it at the 35. So good field position coming up here even after a 55-yard punt by Joseph Zima. When the ball's not coming his way, the influence he can have is 1 catch on this night. There's a reverse toss to Wheatfall. The touchdown earlier and trying to find the edge, but he is pushed out essentially back at the line of scrimmage. Might have got a half yard.
You mentioned that impact that Kenny Lawler had last season, his first as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. You know, 3rd in the league in catches, 1st in the league in those explosives, right? 30-plus yard catches. That's the influence that we're seeing here, right? Even if he's not catching the ball deep, he's keeping the defense honest and creating space for other people because of the threat he presents in the deep game.
A little less than a yard, 2nd and 9 now. Mitchell loads up, picked
Obviously, Bo's going to want this one back. It's a bit of a snag concept, and it's man coverage. So you see the flat here from the running back, and that's where he's looking. But I think Bo mistakes this for zone instead of man, and then he goes back to his 5-yard hit. So the backer flows out, but unfortunately, again, it is man coverage. So if you're going to hit that 5-yard hitch, it's got to be right away. But we're looking at the flat, and then we come back to the hitch, which gives Kennedy the split second he needs to jump it. It's just a tough play. You know, it's not a call you like against man. And this game just flipped on its head.
With one play and Maltos Diaz to hit the point after here and get him back within 7. Robert Kennedy, second year out of North Carolina State. He was on Hamilton's practice roster in 2024. Went to the Alouettes, and with Deontay Evans no longer with the Owls, Kennedy getting a chance to get the start in the secondary at field half and picks up Bo Levi Mitchell and returns it 53 yards for the touchdown.
So again, I want you to look right here. See, we're pointing. That's basically saying, hey, we're locked here. I'm locked on this flat. So as we go here, okay, the flat comes from the backfield. It's a great job shutting this thing down, but it's man coverage. And what we're looking at, if you look at the eyes of Bo, we're looking here. And unfortunately, in this quick game style, if you have to go back to your second read against a great DB who's playing downhill, especially with the depth, Kennedy has then time to come and pick this thing off. It's, again, not the greatest play call against that sort of coverage, but Bo needs to know, hey, I can't really come back here, and if I do, I've got to absolutely rip it. And I'll say this, a veteran guy like Bo is, I'm expecting him right now to respond because he's played incredible outside of a very small amount of plays.
Just got caught on that one. And, you know, one of the things that stood out for me as you look at that is the distance that Kennedy came.
Yes.
Right, to get that ball coming downhill. That, as you say, like there was nothing that misdirected him on that play, that he was able to get a terrific jump on it.
Here's Isaiah Wooden on the return, and Marco Dubois saw many years in Ottawa, great on special teams with a good tackle there. So, yeah, Bo's going to get that chance. The offense coming right back on the field after giving up the pick six, first turnover of the game.
And you'll see Kennedy, the halfback, he's well off the receiver initially. As you say, if the ball gets ripped in there, or decisions made quickly with it, or even if there's a look-off to get the defender to shift. But just in that instance, you know, Kennedy was able to stay at home, and as Bo stays on that side, he's just able to come downhill on it.
Johnny Augustine, the running back now, and he's the one that's going to get it, his first touch in 2026. Augustine, once a star at Guelph from Welland, Ontario, and had a couple of seasons with the Ticats now.
I'll say this, you want to talk about mental toughness, the game of football, and just being a competitor. One of the hardest things right now for Bo Levi Mitchell to do is to continue to just execute his offense, even if it's a simple completion. You don't want to press, I got to make a play, I got to make a play, I got to make a play. You've been great all game, as is your offense. Just continue to do. You got to flush the bad play, and it's not easy to do at any level.
Second and 8. Mitchell to the right. Myron Mitchell. Mitchell to Mitchell. He was the intended target on the pick six. As his first big play for the Ticats and a first down, a 31-yard pickup.
Well, Myron Mitchell, another of those former Winnipeg Blue Bombers who's found his way to Hamilton. Nice touch on the football. Is that the response you were looking for, Luke?
That's the exact spot response. And again, it looks like it's kind of the low corner there, Burns. Against these great throwing quarterbacks, it's a dangerous coverage. They call it cut coverage because the honey hole will be hit.
Hit it across midfield and a first down, and running is Augustine. Getting his first taste of the action this year on this drive after it had been Larry Roundtree, so they make a change. Or excuse me, that is Roundtree back. 27 to 37 back in. We saw Augustine before, and now he heads out. And Augustine heads in.
Tiger Cats continuing to use all their personnel offensively. It's back to that fullback tight end set. That makes us both happy.
I'm really excited to see it.
Max Mang, 82 at the bottom there of the line of scrimmage, the tight end. handing off to Johnny Augustine on that 2nd down and 3, and it doesn't look like he quite had enough to get that 1st down. Still well shy. Not much there.
Looks like there's some sort of miscommunication here. It's a tough one because you do have it front side, but they call that a sling technique you need by your right tackle. It's zone, so you're moving left, but you've got to recognize it's a bit of an odd front. So you have to kind of sling back and get a piece, and you're probably out the gate there.
Right? Don't give him a straight line into the backfield.
Yeah, so just mis-ID'd, and now we're punting.
Mitchell McCarthy on. And you look at it here under normal circumstances, it would be about a 52-yard try, but Dwayne talked about it in the first half. They are going against a breeze here, which is asking a lot more for a kicker, especially if you got a good returner back there for the Alouettes. So choosing to punt. A little discussion going on as they whistled that down. Two returners back. Jareth Stearns is one and Phillip Brooks is the other. Brooks 83.
Yeah, so your big thing here, if you're Montreal, they don't want the ball to get on the ground and bounce and get pinned. They want to have a chance, give themselves a chance to catch it in the air and get a return. So they're going to put themselves in the best position to do that. As you see their special teams coordinator, Byron Archambault, a former Tiger Cat draft pick, by the way.
I'll give a quick shout out right now to former teammate of mine, Saskatchewan legend John Ryan. When we got in these situations in Seattle, we had a kick called a Wild Bill. John was unbelievable at these things, but he would hit basically the insert where the ball's pumped up, and it became like a knuckleball in the air. Very tough to catch, and it floated up there.
Yeah.
There's Brooks coming in the McCarthy punt. Takes that one at the 15. He's still on his feet. Well, he managed to squirt through. It's Daniel Bell.
Knicks haven't really been relevant since then, and now all of a sudden.
Well, it was little Patrick Ewing after that, was it not?
Yeah.
Going around the same time.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, just after.
Certainly relevant now. They came back and they had the 1-0 lead over San Antonio. So
small play here, but I love seeing stuff like this. Watch the offensive line. I like to call this Bulls on Parade. You're looking at the right side offensive line. Boom. We go take a quick set. Bulls on Parade. We're coming out here. It's a tunnel screen. Philpott's going to push up, break in. I love to see when the big men get athletic, get out in space.
Yeah, see what they can do.
get up ahead of Steen. They're clearing downfield. 2nd and 3. And handing off. And a good gain here by Lawrence. First down and more. Tackled by Destin Talbert for Shamari Lawrence. And now airing it out again. An open receiver is Hollins. Alexander Hollins. All by himself. Waits for it. And now down around the inside the 25. Big first down, Alouettes.
This is sweet. You see Hollins here. If we zoom in, he basically, it's what I would call a bit of a slip screen. So we have a play action, okay, and we're going to roll out here, and we love to throw the screens, the RPO game, and Hollins is going to settle his feet a little bit to get that DB to bite up, and then slides behind. It's not even a big pump from Davis Alexander, but what a massive play, what a massive play call, and the momentum continues as we're marching right now.
Yeah, they're dining out in big plays. Saw him to Snead in the first half. That's 42 yards. And on that screen for Snead, as there's a lot of Ticats around him, including Jamal Peters. And not much there for Tyler Snead.
And this is what makes this offense so tough, is they can nickel and dime you and throw the underneath stuff, and in the moment they catch us sleeping for a quick second, again, you'll see the run action here. We boot out of this thing. It's a light fake because we're basically setting up the DB. Hey, yeah, we're throwing one of those quick slide routes again. We've thrown it all game. Now we've got behind you. This is a big second down right here.
2nd and 8. The Hamilton 22 for Davis Alexander. Has time and has a receiver too. Coming back to the ball is Snead.
And the Alouettes jumping right back into this ball game in a big way. Nice rope by Tyler Snead. And again, great timing on the throw as we talk about that familiarity between he and his quarterback, Davis Alexander.
That combination, well, Alexander's 19 19 of 24, but Snead has 9 targets, 7 catches, 142 yards, and that touchdown. And Alexander just threaded the needle in the first half. 1st and 10 now. Hamilton 13. And the fake to Lawrence, and rolling it out to Snead. Takes a hit, and it's Peters that goes down right at the 5. So a good pickup on first down. It'll be 2nd and short.
I'll say this right now, it's been a pretty cool moment. I get fired up over toughness, grit, competitiveness. You look at a play like this, Snead, we're lowering the boom here. We get 8 yards. It's not disrespectful. We're just kind of establishing some dominance. But as a whole right now, it's so easy. You have a tough game offensively to get down in the dumps. You needed one play to spark you, and you're banging on the door.
Pound for pound at East Carolina, considered the toughest player they have, standing at 5'7".
It's a nice stat to have.
Alexander looks into the end zone. Touchdown! Tyson Philpott had Greg Jr. all over him.
What are you talking about, man?
And he still managed to bring it in.
Come on.
And for Philpott,
Come on, man.
it's his 2nd touchdown ever at this stadium. The other one, very famous, that won the Grey Cup in 2023.
Dwayne, this is wild. I'm sitting there going, no, this ain't getting complete. Dwayne, look at this.
Single receiver. He's got the entire half field to get open. He took it off his back.
With one hand. Wow.
That's amazing.
I mean, from our vantage point here in the booth, my initial thought was, there's no way.
I am with you. I didn't like the play call.
Yeah, it didn't seem very high percentage, but with the, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'll just catch it here.
Just throw it anywhere. I'll make the play.
Just moments ago, it seems, the Ticats were in full control of this game. In the pick 6 in the 3rd quarter by Kennedy, and then that touchdown there for Tyson Philpott, who had 2 touchdowns on opening night 2 years ago in Winnipeg to follow up that big Grey Cup winning catch here in Hamilton.
It's really just a thing of beauty, and I'll say this with the injuries. You know, Britt Dort obviously gave 3 huge names. And when you're down bad like that, you want to see the leaders of your team make plays. And Tyson Philpott, in a moment of need here, certainly did that.
Yeah, in a situation where you would think from the sight line, he couldn't even see that ball.
So here comes Hamilton now, and it's Roundtree with the catch up over in the 40, and picks up about 4 yards for the Ticats.
Well, now certainly up to the Hamilton Tiger Cats to figure out a way to regain the momentum in this football game.
And this is a spot here in 2nd and 6 where I wonder what Noel Thorpe's going to dial up. Does he play it safe, or is this the moment where he brings some sort of exotic pressure or look or front that really tricks Hamilton?
Remember, Kenny Lawler, only 1 catch for 10 yards in this game. Underneath, Curly Gibbs, he's had some business in this game, including on their last touchdown drive, so has that, and it's enough to move the sticks in a first down.
And Curly Gibbs has been quietly productive tonight, just reliable, primarily as a check down guy, an underneath guy, etc. And again, we go back to that Kenny Lawler impact, and I'll say some of the Keandre Smith impact too, pushing the ball down the field, creating opportunities for some of the other guys to work.
Gittins has 6 catches, so does Smith. Gittins for 46 yards, Smith for 75. 1st and 10, closer to midfield from the Hamilton 50. Throwing again, coming back is Lawler. 2nd catch and more. Kenny Lawler breaks free and doesn't go down until he hits the Montreal 31.
You can't do this to Kenny Lawler. He's too good. They're just playing straight up man coverage. There's no help. So obviously Burns is going to be deep. We get a little speed out, again, because you're worried about it. And then the next part is you got to tackle him. And it's an easy read for Bo. You saw it pre-snap. He knew it was man coverage. He's got Kenny on the speed out. It's a pitch and catch, and you're going to take that matchup all day if you're Hamilton.
They spot the football at the 32 of Montreal. So you talk about momentum swings, Dwayne. We got another one going on right now in a tie ball game. Back comes Hamilton now in the Alouette zone from the left hash, and a play action pass. And it's underneath for Roundtree right at the 30. Good tackle by Lorenzo Burns. Second down ahead, second and long.
A big collision over there. Trying to create a little misdirection on the play before going to Roundtree, but Burns recognizes it, stays at home, takes heavy contact from a big, strong runner in Roundtree, but hangs on to make the play.
Picks up a couple of yards. Second and 8. The ball just inside the Montreal 30. 24-24. Approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. Three-man rush on Mitchell as time. Looks to the end zone for Lawler. And it is knocked away by Wesley Sutton. A couple of Alouettes were there with Lawler. And he was slightly in behind, but good work by Sutton to knock it away.
That throw made me a little bit nervous. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It was, you know, we call this kind of an umbrella coverage. You'll see all the defenders kind of almost play like an umbrella. You're in double coverage. I get it's Kenny Lawler. But right now, to tie game, I think you take the points there. That's you risk tips and overthrows, which generally can end up in interception territory.
Yeah, and did you feel a little bit like that one was maybe predetermined? We got to get it to Kenny.
I did get the sense that that was kind of the shot we were taking no matter what.
Mark Leggio, 2 for 2 with that kick, 37 yards away. So not a touchdown, but they do have their lead back for the third time tonight. Hamilton on top. Close for Lawler, but no. Tooth that on the sidelines there. It's a 2nd and 6 in the Montreal 44 caught. Marco Dubois has a catch. Another one there for the Alouettes, his new team, and that's enough for a first down.
Yeah, you're going to see Dubois in motion here, just sitting it down around that first down marker. Coverage is off, find the hole. Little pitch and catch.
It'll be odd for him when he goes against the Ottawa Redblacks after all those years in the nation's capital, the team that drafted him, product of Laval. Now with the Alouettes, play fake, and just checking that one down for Sneed, but no, it goes out of bounds, incomplete, with the starting weak side linebacker Jordan Crook there in coverage.
Getting a little chippy out there, a little extracurricular.
It's never too soon for rivalry.
I agree, gets me fired up.
The bobble gave Crook a chance to get out there and make a play.
And talk about injured linebackers. Braxton Hill normally would be starting in the weak side, so Crook gets a chance in his first year with the Ticats to get the start at will. 2nd and 10 at the 51. Now a little bit beyond the reach of Tyson Philpott. Couldn't catch that one, although we're still thinking about that one he did catch for the touchdown moments ago. Just a bit too far.
It's a big stop by Hamilton there. Certainly a lot of momentum Montreal had coming in, and Bo Levi's about to have the ball again. Midway through this fourth quarter, the 3-point lead.
Yes, sir.
Joseph Zima at his 36. Isaiah Wooden, one returner back. It is Wooden, and he's chased back to the 11. 49-year-old. 3 receivers to the left, rolling out to the right, and dumping it off there. There's Maximilian Mang from Potsdam, Germany. I was going to tell you, Luke Wilson found out what inspired him to play football happened to be Super Bowl 48 when Luke Wilson, Seattle Seahawks won. And look, he's wearing number 82. He's a tight end.
I got to meet this guy.
You got to like the influence you've had here.
I mean, I hope so. I hope that that'd be pretty cool. Again, obviously being a part of a special team like that, it is pretty unique to hear the younger generation say, hey, I watched that game, and it was such a cool moment for Seattle and the organization, the franchise, that had that big of an effect on some people.
Big moment for you in beating Denver and Peyton Manning to win the Super Bowl, and that was 12 years ago. And Manning had some time in the NFL. He played well at Syracuse and said from Potsdam, Germany, and a global draft pick of the Ticats, and short yardage there.
And he's played a ton tonight. I know, he hasn't obviously had a ton of catches, but they're using him consistently as a hand-down inline blocker, and he's done a really good job. And to me, I think that's part of the reason that Montreal has struggled a bit at times defensively, because they have that extra gap, you know, and it's harder to bring the pressures and the exotic looks when you have a team that uses a tight end like that.
Even before I told you that story, you guys are both saying you like to see the tight end used in this offense.
I love to see the tight end.
You like the fullback getting involved.
Well, this is it. They have so often been on the field in tandem.
Yes.
It's a little bit old school, but as I say it keeps both the analysts happy here tonight.
And that's the main thing, especially at opening night. Down to 4 minutes to go. And there's still a lot to be decided here. Just a 3-point ball game. Ticats in their own zone. What a nice catch. Just shy of the 40. And when it's a nice catch, pretty good chance it's going to be 89. That is shy of a first down.
This is an unbelievable catch. It's a bit of a strange moment because these two have great chemistry, but Bo's expecting him to basically turn and sit in his shadow because it's a stick route versus zone coverage where Kenny kind of shuffles out a little bit. But what a tremendous adjustment to that ball. And I'll say this, if you're watching right now, Bo Levi is operating how you love to see a veteran quarterback play the position. And what I mean by that is the clock's ticking down. You know, they got this ball with 5 minutes in change on the clock, and you're just methodically taking down that play clock, moving the chains, putting pressure on. It's a real special way to operate as an offense at this time of the game.
We did see Trey Ford in there in the short yardage, but now heading off with the clock stopped at 3:38 to go. Jake Dolegala done short yardage package in the first half, including a touchdown.
Giving Montreal something to think about, clearly defensively in that instance. Trey Ford given a little different threat for that offense.
So Dolegala's in on the second down, lunges ahead, and the short yardage QB does punch it across the 40-yard line for a first down. Hamilton.
See Dolegala finding the soft spot there. Isaac Adeyemi throwing some quick jabs there, trying to free up that ball.
Looks like he's got an issue with that ball. Giving it several shots, but Dolegala hangs on.
Get the fuck in here.
Formation and get a piece of a blitzing Tyrese Beverett coming from the other side. It wasn't pretty, but he did what he needed to do to slow him up.
When you turn that film on tomorrow and you see a running back sacrifice himself like that, goes a long way in the locker room.
2nd and 7, up at the 44, 2:41 in the clock. Pump fake, shovels it off to Gittens. Gets it up around the 46, still be about 4 yards shy of a first down. And McCarthy's going to have to come on to punt this one away.
Well, Luke, I'm going to go back to a couple of themes that we talked about prior to this football game. As we have a 3-point game, 2.5 minutes to go. The parity in the Canadian Football League, right? This closeness between the teams. But then also you talked about the level of quarterback play. And we certainly haven't been disappointed by either of these guys tonight.
It's been really a fun watch, both their play on the field and just seeing kind of the emotions and the passion off of it as well. And Davis Alexander's got a shot here to do something miraculous, and I can't wait to see it.
Mitch McCarthy, the Australian who won a national championship in college with Indiana earlier this year, and making his pro debut here with Hamilton, and it's Brooks on the return, and a late flag coming out after Brooks was down.
Well, under the circumstances, yardage in either direction is critical. Which way is this going?
Major foul, face mask. Hamilton, number 44. 15-yard penalty, first down.
To your point, a critical penalty at this point of the game. Much needed yardage moving up for the Alouettes.
Daniel Bell, the backup fullback. You know, kind of had the ball carrier spun into him, and I think instincts took over, just wrap up.
From the 33, down 3. Sitting down and taking that one as Philpott turns it up and gets a lot more up near midfield for Tyson Philpott. Still plenty of time in the clock.
It's special here that he's able to do this after the catch. We call this a shin route or short in. It's 5 yards. Okay, you see the off coverage. Hamilton, we got to make this tackle. We can't give up the extra 12 at the end of this thing. Yeah. And we're at midfield in a 3-point game. I'll tell you right now, it's just too easy if you're Hamilton to kind of give, again, a 5-yard short in, and it turns into that big of a play.
Fifth career 300-yard passing game for Davis Alexander, looking for more, and Philpott. And just turned around, coverage is there, falls incomplete, second down.
We've talked about the Hamilton Tiger Cats and, Kenny Lawler, as you see Tyson Philpott top of your screen on this one, working down the numbers. But Hamilton will take shots with Kenny Lawler because you just have so much faith, so much confidence in that receiver to make a play on the ball. I'll tell you, that's Tyson Philpott for the Montreal Alouettes. That guy that you trust to make tough catches in traffic. Go out and get it done.
Jose Maltos Diaz, longest field goal is 58 yards. They are against the wind here at second down and trying to screen it off there to Sneed and nowhere near him. So it is 3rd and 10, 1.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, and the Alouettes need at least a field goal.
So this is not the throw they want. If you see right now, there's wide 3 techniques to the guard, which basically means some sort of twist is coming, and Montreal gets confused. So we check it down, but Davis is going to want this one back because I think if he gets this kind of on him, he at least has some room to run, and they're probably in 3-down territory.
There's a lot of turf over there.
Yeah. A bit of a miscommunication up front. I kind of think pushed Davis into throwing that a little earlier than we thought.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 10, and the Alouettes are going. 1:35 in the clock. 3 points behind, up near midfield. They need 10 yards. 4-man rush. Alexander. It's caught at a first down. Mr. Clutch Tyler Sneed does it again.
Is there any surprise who the intended target was on that one?
You just said it, Dwayne. I love the play call. Go to your guys. Been hauling all night. They obviously, you heard him say they're roommates. They have good chemistry, and he finds a soft spot in the zone here. That's a massive play.
Getting it up to the 44 of Hamilton and take about a 51-yarder now within the range from Maltos Diaz, but there is still the wind against them. A little bit of a breeze. Trying to get closer now. A chance to force overtime, but instead he just throws it away. A dangerous play by Alexander as he was being sacked. Obviously mindful about his place in the field, but that could have really gone badly for Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. High risk, but you hit the nail on the head as to why he's doing it. Is he understands it's a 3-point game. We're kind of on the edge of field goal range. I cannot lose yards on this play. I can't take a sack.
What a grenade toss there. Look, he got the fist pump. I get it. But it is certainly a little risky because you can't see when you're getting spun around like that.
Yeah, he knows he got away with one there.
Yes.
Do you think first down, or do you think just get it a little bit closer for Maltos Diaz to tie this game? Off to the left. Shy of a first down. Philpott turns it up, and he gets close. Very close inside the 45, 35. And it'll just be shy by about a couple of feet. We'll call it a yard, but it is definitely within the range for Maltos Diaz to tie it. And they're lining up to go. 3rd down again. Alexander in, standing under center, needing the first down, lunging ahead, and Osias hold of his pants to pull them down, but it looks like enough for a first down.
He's pulling his pants down.
Little hesitation there from Davis Alexander.
What a camera shot.
Yeah, even Reggie Stubblefield is like, okay, please stop.
Not a full moon tonight in Hamilton, but close. Big first down. Alexander faking the handoff to Lawrence. Buys himself some time and then just goes to check it down for Lawrence. It's incomplete.
Yeah, so Montreal still, by Canadian Football League standards, plenty of time on the clock, 41 seconds.
And I know Montreal's driving right now, but I'll tip my cap to Hamilton's defense. They're making them earn it. I mean, they're getting some pressure. They're covering on the back end. Like, this has not been a simple drive minus maybe 1 or 2 plays. The boys are grinding right now.
Big test for Brett Monson's defense now. Already in field goal range for the Alouettes now in a 2nd and 10. 40 seconds on the clock, trying to get a little closer. Lawrence, he takes some hits.
That's a big play.
And he gets it closer to another first down. He gets it down around the 25.
That's a good way to earn yourself a little more playing time when you're a rookie running back.
And this brings up a really fascinating decision here for Jason Moss. I wonder if they'll just come out here and almost do a hard count to try and get him to draw offside and then kick the field goal. That certainly looks like there's confusion on the sideline as well.
Well, Dustin Crum has come in, their short yardage QB. Now, they went for it at 3rd and 1 before when technically they were in field goal range. That much closer now for Maltos Diaz, even against a slight breeze. Could easily tie this game, but they're going for it on 3rd and 1 again.
This would be a long one.
Dustin Crum keeps it left side. Looks like he has it, though. So they're dining out on 3rd down gambles here, especially at this point in the field. 19 seconds on the clock. And they obviously haven't given up on the possibility of a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising for me. Like Dwayne said, it was a long one. They call this ADO, alert draw offside. I thought we would get a hard count, something to that effect, and then we just kick the field goal because, Rod, you said there's only 19 seconds left. You're still up against the clock.
Yeah.
Well, I said first down. It certainly looked like he had it on that long yard. They haven't indicated the first down yet. They're bringing out the sticks. So, depending on the spot, could be ball game here. That close. If it's not a first down, Hamilton wins this game. It's a first down. And they play on. At the very least, a chance to tie it and force overtime.
These are the moments of the game that I just find so fascinating from the chess match. Like, what does Jason Moss call right now? You're sitting here.
What is your level of risk?
Correct. You got pretty much, you would assume, a tie game. You're on the 23. It's very fascinating.
And remember, there are no more ties in the Canadian Football League. They keep going until there's a winner. Talk about overtime format if it applies, but they're looking for the end zone to win it. Looking to win it for Philpott. And Greg Jr. right there with him. In a similar point to where Philpott had a touchdown catch earlier in this half. Incomplete, 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, Philpott, top left of your screen. He's just going down the rail. Again, put your faith in your guy. One-on-one situation. Pretty good positioning there.
Very good. It squeezes him right to the sideline there. Not really a window to throw.
One more shot for the end zone for Jason Moss and the Alouettes. And failing that, they'd have to kick the field goal to force overtime. Now instead they will run it. Just set things up.
Keep it in the middle of the field.
So Lawrence with it right in the middle for Jose Maltos Diaz. We'll have a shorter field goal try of about 27, 28 yards coming up here for the Alouettes to force overtime. 6 seconds on the clock.
Jose Maltos Diaz, who's established himself as a pretty good clutch kicker over the last 2 seasons.
Including here last November. He had the walk-off winner in the Eastern Final, 45 yards, that sent the Alouettes to the Grey Cup. This is to send them into overtime on opening night in Hamilton with Joseph Zima to put it down and Maltos Diaz to put it through. Zeros on the clock, but it's not over.
You don't like ties either.
Well, I think it depends on which side of it you're on.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair.
Like, I mean, sometimes a tie feels like a bit of a victory when you've come back and
yes, for sure.
A situation like this, perhaps, when you're the Montreal Alouettes, that you've fought all the way back and you've earned a point, you've taken a point from your opponent. Get ready for the coin toss here.
And here's the referee, Tom Valesi.
Okay, same coin as the start of the game. CFL logo is heads, team logo is tails. Your choice. Tails, calls tails. It is a tail, you won the toss. You want to start with defense? Which end would you like to play in? We're going to play in that end. Ticats on offense, Montreal on defense. Good luck.
Alex Gagné choosing defense so they can see in their possession what they need.
Yeah, I will say this, Dwayne, talking about overtime and ties. I actually love this format. Obviously, it's somewhat similar to the NCAA.
Yeah.
One of the things, you know, for me in the NFL, I always found that it was such a strange overtime procedure where it was like the coin flip was like critical. We'd be out here like.
Overtime begins with pressure, and Mitchell gets away and throws it to the right, and coming back to the football for a first down is Kenny Lawler.
Again, you watch this series, it's technically not man, but you're leaving Kenny one-on-one. You see the middle field safety drift to the middle field. Ball gets flushed and still wide open because a vertical threat like Kenny Lawler, you have to play deep.
Yeah.
Bo's not reading anything there. He sees what's going on. Pre-snap, he's saying, I'm throwing this one to Kenny.
Gets exactly 10 yards, right down just inside the 25, and a 1st and 10. First overtime possession here at Hamilton Stadium on opening night. Swinging it off to the left. It is caught by Carrick Wheatfall. Ball comes out. It's Montreal's football. Has it on the fumble by Wheatfall, and all the Alouettes need is a field goal to win this game.
Oh my.
In the blink of an eye. And suddenly the Hamilton Tiger Cats and their fans join my minority of people who think a tie ain't so bad.
They do. I'll say this, that's an athletic play by Ento to get on that ball before it goes out of bounds. Really nice, and it's the right play. It's the right throw there they bring pressure, you throw a little bubble screen into the pressure, you take the 3 yards.
And Robert Kennedy's the one who forces the fumble. He had the pick 6. It really got them going.
That was, yes, what a day for him. I feel sick for Hamilton right now.
So Alexander back on at the 35. They just need a field goal to win the game. On the ground is Lawrence, and a good run and a good time for Shamari Lawrence, who picks up a first down on the ground to get them that much closer for Maltos Diaz if they can get a touchdown.
You felt a little bit on this play like this is a very deflated Hamilton Tiger Cat defense.
I agree, you know, but I'll say this. Hamilton in general tonight, you're playing a great team in this league. Obviously, they're in the Grey Cup, a couple plays away from winning that thing last year. And you spot them a pick 6, and then in overtime, you give them the ball back. It just can't happen.
Yep.
It's looking like the new overtime format won't matter. This is the first possession. Here he goes inside the 15. He is running hard. Shamari Lawrence. What a time to bust off some big runs as he gets that one inside the 10.
Well, the enthusiasm of Shamari Lawrence, obviously, young running back, you're going to be fighting for yards, etc. But you also got to recognize the situation, because if you're the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense, the one thing on your mind right now, we got to go after the football.
Yeah, I'll say this, though. The Alouettes got away with one here. There was a hold on the fullback, Mason, which would have backed him up. It was kind of right at the point of attack. I got a feeling Scott Milanovic might hand that one in.
Well, the Eastern Final last November between these two ended in a walk-off by Jose Maltos Diaz. Here we are in overtime, and a chance to do the same on opening night 2026. Zima puts it down. Ball game. Alouettes. They finally lead in this game for the first time, and it's good for the win. And Davis Alexander, still unbeaten as a starter in the regular season. He goes to 12-0 in his young career as a starting quarterback. In these games, regular season dejection.